Good morning. So it's recently come to my attention that I rate too many books 5 stars. Now that's not a bad thing. I just think I'm easily pleased, and I feel like I haven't read enough books to really get my rating system down. So today I'll be tier ranking all my fantasy books I've read the past 3 years, and I gave a lot of these 5 stars, but now that I'm going back and looking at them, I'm looking at some of these and I'm like, some of these don't really deserve the 5 stars. So let's get right into it. All right, I got 27 books here. Now, if it's a series, I only have the first book, and we'll talk if all the other books deserve 5 stars or whatever. I'll kind of be doing like a blanket rating for the series. If it's S, I am still constantly thinking about the book. D, obviously, it wasn't good. Okay, so we'll start off with Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. I love me some Greek mythology retellings. This one was okay. I'm gonna put it in C. Well, okay, B would be more like okay. If it had more plot to it, I think I would have liked it better. But it was just basically a smut, which isn't bad, but I've read a better Hades Persephone retelling. So this was like, meh. Next we have Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. Ooh, okay, I really do love this book. I'm gonna put it in A. I think that's a good spot for it. I do sometimes think about it, and I am gonna be rereading it soon because Empire of the Damned just came out. I loved the characters. The plot was fun. There was always something happening. I was never bored when I was reading this. This is a solid book. Oh, look at that. My other Hades Persephone retelling. Okay, this one was good. I feel like this series is a hit or miss with a lot of people, but I personally really enjoyed it. Now, the first book I did. So the books that are a touch of blank are told from Persephone's point of view, and then there's ones from Hades' point of view that are called like a game of fate, a game of blank. The first book was the best in my opinion, and then from there, Scarlett St. Clair tries to set up a plot, but it doesn't go anywhere because it's just smut the entire time. But better than Neon Gods. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I think I gave this one 5 stars. Now, do I think about it enough to put it in S? No, it's going in A. There's a magic system, but they use their magic to make it look like there isn't magic. And there's a circus that just pops up out of nowhere. It was cool. It was kind of mysterious. A tier. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This one let me down. I didn't feel very drawn to the main character. I didn't feel the chemistry between the love interests. I didn't care about the plot. I felt like this book just needed to be longer, and the world building was just info dump after info dump. I was expecting more. I'm gonna put this in C. Yeah, it's going in C tier. Mistborn, A. That's a solid series. I still haven't finished the last book, but it's solid. Great world building, really cool magic system. Love the characters, love it. Throne of Glass. Okay, this is going in S. Not every single one. I feel like in like book 2, 3, it felt a little slow to me. Now, I don't know if I would feel that way now if I went back and reread it, but I constantly think about these characters. I love them so much. Yes, it is always in my brain. S. The Library at Mount Char. This one was interesting. From what I remember, it's about a group of kids that were raised inside of a library by this guy who assigned each kid their own like subject. One would be war, one would be language. And I don't remember too much of the middle bit. I remember the end. The imagery was wild. I'm like, this makes no sense. I don't know what I'm supposed to be imagining here, but what I am imagining is really cool, but really weird, and I love it. But does it go in A or B? I actually don't know. This is the first one where I'm like, I don't know where to put it. Okay, I think I'm gonna go B. What did I originally give this? Okay, I originally gave this 4.5. I wish I could remember more details that made me give it that rating. But when I compare it to these, I'm like, did I like it more than that or as much as these books? I don't think so. I think B's a good spot for it. The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Easy S tier. I think about this book all the time, and I can't wait to reread it because the sequel is coming out later this year. I don't think a single book has ever made me as happy as this one made me. Oh man, this book was just a warm hug. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I love it. 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 All right, one extreme to the other. King of Battle and Blood. I gotta put you in D tier. Sorry about that. I don't remember anything about this book. Now, someone posted about it on Reddit, and I wanted to hear what they had to say just to refresh my memory on what happened in here and the plot, or lack of. And they pointed out one of the main things that happened in here, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I really didn't like it. So, D. Natural History of Dragons. I believe I gave this 4 stars. I loved the historical fantasy. I really liked the characters, going along with the main character, learning about dragons and researching them. I haven't read the entire series, but the second book wasn't as good as the first one. But the first one, I really enjoyed. I think I'm gonna go A. That feels right. Now, if I were to put the second book somewhere, I feel like the second would honestly probably be in C. No, B. I think B. Oh, I just realized I gave Empire the Vampire 5 stars too, but now it's an A. I'm learning. I probably should have given this a 4.5. Oh, see, now I'm second guessing. Oh my God. No, it's staying in A because I think about these 2 books more than I do Empire the Vampire. Okay, yes, I'm learning. All right, Book of Night by Holly Black. No, I was about 60-70% through this book, and I'm like, where is this going? I hate the main character. I don't care about anything that's happening. And I wanted to DNF so bad, but I had never DNF'd anything before. So I skimmed like the last 30%, and I wish I didn't because I feel like it was a waste of time. I did not enjoy this book at all. Okay, we got The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I was expecting more from this. Middle grade for sure. It is labeled as middle grade, but I feel like my expectations were a little too high because it was Neil Gaiman. B. All right, now we got Harry Potter. I still haven't read the last book. I feel like I would have liked this a lot better if I read this as a kid, like most people did. But everyone in this book just annoys the hell out of me, and it really sucks the fun out of it. I think I'm gonna put Harry Potter in C. I get pissed off more than I have fun reading these. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter. The Nature of Witches. Ooh, This was one of my earlier fantasy books I read, so I didn't have a good base on how to rate this. What did I rate it? I'm just gonna put it there for now. I gave this 4.5 apparently. When I think about it now, I'm feeling more 3-star? 3 or 4, so a bit lower. Yeah, I think B is a good spot for it. All I remember is the witches control the seasons. If it's winter, the winter witches have like the most power at that time, if I remember correctly, and are able to control the weather at that point. It was good. It wasn't anything amazing, but I enjoyed it. The Lightning Thief. I want to continue on with this series, so I only read the first one. Really enjoyed it. I don't think about it as much as these. It's not as bad as these. Middle of the ground. Greek mythology. I'm a sucker for that. House of Hunger. I remember a lot of people talking about this book. Well, a lot of people, maybe like 2 or 3, saying that they absolutely loved this, and I didn't. I thought it was very predictable, and I remember the main character made me want to bang my head against the wall. Also, I remember everything happening way too fast in here. Was not a fan. Norse mythology. Oh my God. Okay, I just got goosebumps when I picked this one up. I love mythologies. It is Norse mythology. Like, the title is the book. It's not really a story. Well, it kind of is, but he's just going through what people thought happened to give birth to these gods, but he told it in such an amazing way. I did give this 5 stars. Okay, all of these are basically 5 stars, and I bumped them down. Norse mythology deserves 5 stars. S tier. Easy. Okay, clearly wasn't that easy if I had to think about it that long, but 5 stars. Dune! Oh my God, I'm so excited to reread this. I'm gonna be rereading it very, very, very soon. What did I give this one? I did not write a review. This is one of the first books I read when I got into reading 3 years ago. Whoa, there's a giveaway on it right now? Oh, it's only for the US. Lame. Okay, so I don't have a rating for this. This is so hard. I didn't have a good baseline on what to rate it. I think I'll safely go A tier until I read it again and then actually rate it. All right, next. Legends and Lattes. S tier. I love me my cozy fantasies. I love every single person in that book. It made me laugh, it made me cry, just like House in the Cerulean Sea. Give me some low stakes fantasy and I will eat it up. Fangs by Sarah Anderson. I also gave this 5 stars. It's just a little comic. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on, but it's definitely not like one of the best things I've ever read in my life. But it was cute. But it's so hard to rate this one because it's a comic and all of these are, whoa! Other books. I don't know if you belong in here, Fangs, but I will put you somewhere because you're on the list. There were some really funny parts in here. I'm gonna go A. A Court of Thorns and Roses. S tier. I also always think about the series. I've read it twice. First book, not so much. Oh, also, the prequel to Legends and Lattes, Bookshops and Bone Dust, also 5 stars. Forgot to mention that. But A Court of Thorns and Roses, the series as a whole, S. The first book, I remember rereading it, and it was cool seeing a lot of the foreshadowing, but I still felt like the whole setup was silly. But when I got on to rereading A Court of Mist and Fury, I'm like, I cannot believe that I am enjoying this even more than I did the first time I was reading it. S tier. Okay, we have more comics. Why did I do this myself? Neil Gaiman's Sandman comics. I've only read the first 2 or 3? 2, I think. These are actually really good. A tier. A tier. No, what did I rate this? No, I'm not gonna look at it. Yes, I am. I gave it 5 stars. I already know. What? No, I didn't. 4.75. No, I think A is good. No. Oh my god, it's so hard. It's so hard because this is such a beautiful story. Even the Netflix adaptation was beautiful. I think I'm gonna put this in S because it's an S tier comic. And now I'm not gonna compare it to the books because these are different, but it is an S tier comic. Here in Essie, did I give this 4 or 5 stars? When you read it, you're not gonna know what's going on. Oh man, but this book gave me a weird vibe. I'll put you in B. I gave it 5 stars. Okay, another one that I should not have given 5 stars. When did I read this? Oh, a year ago. Probably more like a 3.5. It was a very interesting concept, but I also feel like it wasn't fully for me. That doesn't really make sense. All right, The Hobbit, S. S tier. I read it for the first time last summer and I absolutely loved it. I felt like I was actually going on an adventure with Bilbo. One of the best books I've ever read in my life. All right, Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. Oh, my thoughts on this series right now are so tainted because of House of Flame and Shadow. But the first 2, do I really want to put all 3 in S? Did I like it as much? No, I feel like if I got to think about it this hard, Crescent City as a whole goes in A. No, but I gave it 5 stars. No, but that's not the point. Just because I gave it 5 stars, it doesn't mean it actually deserves S tier. I really do feel like it's just so tainted. But I think I do like Throne of Glass and ACOTAR better. You're so close to being up there, but no, you don't deserve it. All right, Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. Same with House of Hunger and Bride. I feel like it was too overhyped, so I was expecting more. But I was also going into it wanting fantasy romance. That's more of like the subplot. The first book was good, just a solid good. The second one dragged. I haven't read the third one yet, but a lot of people say just keep going. Oh, where do I want to put you? Okay, see, these were like bad. It wasn't bad, but it was like, oh, I'm just wanting a little bit more, you know? How many of these did I give 5 stars that don't actually deserve 5 stars? Okay, out of all the books in A and B, I gave 6 of these 5 stars. Okay, so this made me think about my rating system a bit more. Yeah, go me. I'm proud of myself. Okay. Back to Big Me. And there we go, my fantasy tier ranking. I'm interested to see how this will look like a year from now. Once I get more fantasy on the list. I feel like I read about a quarter of these pretty early on when I first got into reading. But now that I'm starting to learn my tastes a bit better, it makes sense that some of these are being bumped down in rating. Let me know if you agree with any of my takes here on this tier list, or if you completely disagree. I want to hear it. Bring it on. If you're interested, you can go watch my spring TBR where I talk about a bunch of other fantasy books that I want to read very, very soon. All right, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.